Hello everybody and welcome back to W12 Universe. My name is Jitch and this is Monday Night Raw coming to you from Denver, Colorado with the man who is still not your World Heavyweight Champion, Batista. Just one moment.
Introducing first, from Washington, D.C., weighing 290 pounds,
Sorry about that. I mean, I guess he was talking anyway, so it's fine. Just trying to get comfy. I'm struggling a little bit today. Anyway, we are just definitely 24 hours removed from Hell in a Cell. It's not been any days, weeks, nothing. We're just immediately after Hell in a Cell, and apparently the microphone's really... No, the microphone's not too loud. Okay. I don't know, it seems to be, like, flittering. I probably sound a bit stuffy at the moment. I woke up with a slightly blocked nose. It happens occasionally. I'm not sick. It's just a thing. It'll go away as the day goes on. But I want to make sure I got some of this done. I apologize for everyone who's been waiting for more Universe, but I've been enjoying streaming Mother a lot more. You can watch those streams on this channel. This will continue to obviously be a series that goes. I think I'm just kind of waiting out when W13 starts at this point. There's a lot more you can do with 13, and I'm definitely looking forward to 13 a lot in comparison. So I think I'm just kind of... I think I've kind of hit my limit of like, well, I'm bored of this game now. Like, I don't hate it, and obviously I'll finish off the year, but new people, a lot more customization, a lot more stories. I've got plans that lead all the way up until, okay, main plans for everyone on the roster lead up until the end of 2010. Some of them are quite minor, but I got plans. Anyway, this is a cross-promotional matchup. I haven't really mentioned this. It's to do with the situation that's been going on here on Raw between these three. We've seen Batista and The Undertaker compete in one-on-one matches over the last few weeks, as Undertaker wanted to get his hands on the World Heavyweight Championship and face Austin at Bragging Rights in a champion versus champion match. However, The Undertaker was unsuccessful last night, at Hell in a Cell, as the match was won by Sheamus. I will say, you know, at this point, I think it's safe to say Heath, Slater, and what am I saying here? Sorry, The Undertaker and Batista are no strangers to each other. We don't really know why Heath Slater's been getting involved in this, but obviously with Bragging Rights coming up, we got some cross-promotional matches coming your way over the next 2 weeks before Bragging Rights. So here tonight, for example, we got this triple threat match kicking things off. The Undertaker continuing to compete here on Raw due to this current cross-branded promotion. Up next, we've got the Women's Champion Kharma going to go one-on-one with the former Women's Champion Natalya. In our third match of the night tonight, we got a one-on-one match between Edge and Kevin Nash to determine a new #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. The winner of that match will face Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship the very next night after Bragging Rights. Sheamus will not be defending the championship at Bragging Rights, as he'll be competing in the first ever Champion of Champions triple threat match, which is of course for the trophy of Champion of Champions. It's going to be, excuse me, it's going to be the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus up against the new ECW champion, The Big Show, up against the new WWE champion, The Miz. What a big triple threat that's going to be for a big time trophy. Undertaker, I guess in a way, kind of got his wish. You know, he wanted to face Austin at Bragging Rights, and he must be kind of glad that he didn't win the World Heavyweight Championship in a way, because neither him nor Austin walked out with a World Championship, so they wouldn't have been competing at Bragging Rights anyway.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have just received word that this contest will now be a Falls Count Anywhere match.
I mean, I don't know why, but I'll accept it. Who do I want to be in this? Probably not Slater. Probably not Slater, sorry. Yeah, okay. Batista has insisted he is not finished with the United Kingdom. He's not finished with the World Heavyweight Championship, but for now, he'll let Sheamus have his fun. Mick Foley says he's getting a little bit tired of Batista's complaining and desperation for championship opportunities. So we'll see where this goes. And Undertaker and Batista, oh, they're actually going to work together. I mean, realistically, what the hell does Heath Slater have to do with this anyway? Oh, of course, but Batista, this really comes as no surprise. Goes straight for the Undertaker, who he has blamed entirely for the loss at Hell in a Cell. Of course he has in the triple threat match. You know, I wanna support Batista, but I think the man is becoming a little bit too obsessed with the World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh, what a shot! King, as soon as this match is over, we may need our medical personnel down here to check on the injured ribs and back. And if this keeps up much more, we may need him.
Not bad for Heath Slater being in the middle of this situation, but at the same time, this is something he keeps interjecting himself into. Initially, this began a couple weeks back on Raw when Batista and The Undertaker went one-on-one, and Heath Slater tried to fend off The Undertaker as he felt he was going to be the next Raw general manager and was just trying to protect his brand. He didn't end up winning the Raw general manager match, as that was won by Mick Foley. But Foley has kind of sat back and watched Heath Slater humiliate himself and try to get involved in this situation. I guess he's got to make himself relevant whilst his tag team partner Justin Gabriel has just won the light heavyweight championship. I mean, obviously he's so associated with Brie Bella right now that Heath Slater really doesn't matter in Justin Gabriel's life too much. You know that both Undertaker and Batista, if they want an easy win in this match, all they got to do is target Slater. No disrespect to him, but these are two former World Heavyweight Champions. In a way, Slater's really, he's really built himself up by getting involved with these two, but in another situation, I don't entirely know if this was wise on Heath Slater's part to keep trying to prod the bear, poke the bear, as most would say. Batista now bringing in the steel chair. As we know, steel chair, a very relevant thing in Batista's life right now. It's what cost him the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions, and it's what cost him the World Heavyweight Championship at Hell in a Cell. This time hitting a big time DDT on Heath Slater on the steel chair. And Undertaker just going to try and hog that pin. DDT onto the chair definitely would have been enough.
Undertaker, nearly 7 feet tall and a lean 299 pounds.
Looking forward to that main event tonight, though, as the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus in a number one what am I saying? In a one-on-one match. I got there eventually, up against a choice of the new WWE Champion, The Miz. Anyone he wants is going to face off against Sheamus tonight in the main event. Hard to believe. You know, 24 hours ago we had no doubts in our mind it was going to be Stone Cold Steve Austin walking into bragging rights representing SmackDown as the WWE Champion. He was such a dominant champion. No one really was able to put a notch on his win-loss record. But we managed to actually find a way for someone to take the WWE Championship off of Stone Cold. I'm sure we'll get more explanation for that in 4 days' time at SmackDown. But for now, the motives behind that are still a bit of a mystery. Why John Cena would actually help.
Now taking this match outside. The ref can only watch and observe here as there are no countouts.
Batista running.
Watch it, Undertaker. Can he hit it? Nobody can play the power game like Batista. Batista with a good reversal. Batista.
Oh, jeez. I mean, he held a victory over The Undertaker as of last week. This is kind of the rubber match between these two in a weird way if it comes down to either of the two. Got a victory over each other, and obviously neither of them winning at Hell in a Cell. There's a score to be settled.
The damage has definitely been done. Now it may just be a matter of time. And Batista
Undertaker was looking for that steel chair.
Uh-oh, it might be time to run. Intercepted. Oh, a great counter. What
Of course. What was I thinking? Look at that chair rattle. Oh, Slater with the sledgehammer. I guess he's had enough.
Heath Slater. Heath Slater takes a hard shot. Oh! Batista wants to detonate again.
Batista dropping Heath Slater with a big time power bomb. Obviously, Undertaker. He just wants to win. Referee so slow. If he just counted a little faster, we'd have a decent finish on our hands. But of course, this is both a triple threat and a WWE 12. So, there's only so much you can expect. I love when they just completely ignore you and perfectly slip out of the way of several weapon shots. Oh, I don't care about this match anymore. Just end it. Man, I hate triple threats. Triple threats with no selling, I should say. I don't mind triple threats in the newer games, but oh, before there was selling in the games, fuck triple threats. People want this style of gameplay back. Fucking weirdos. Try being someone with a fucking top rope move as a finisher. You'll hit it every now and then at best. This is the way Undertaker wants to win. He's had enough.
It looks like it. Those ribs have been targeted so many times over the course of this match. I wouldn't be shocked if one or two maybe cracked right now. Oh, did you see the force behind that?
Yeah, that'd be a great finish. Really well thought out move there, Batista. I hate you, Batista. Oh, fuck off.
We know what this is.
And this is his third one in the match. Maybe this one will actually get the job done. Except Slater's standing. And you're just going to go straight for the pin like a dummy. Pin. Pin someone. Stupid motherfucker. You might see a significant drop in triple threats after bragging rights. I'm warning you now. Unless they're story related, like unless the game books them, you might see quite the drop in triple threats. I don't very much like them. There you go. Just end the damn match. That's the goal at that point. Get it over with. Oh yes, the replays, who could forget. While the Undertaker stands victorious, I guess you could say he got some redemption against Batista. He ain't going for the World Heavyweight Championship anymore. I don't really know what the Undertaker's motives are anymore. But here tonight on Raw, it's SmackDown that's standing tall to start things off on the build to bragging rights. We've only got 2 episodes of Raw until bragging rights. And right now, I gotta say, just based off this alone, Raw's not looking too strong. hopefully Raw can turn the Undertaker trying to make peace, and oh, finally, it looks like we've managed to come to some kind of a conclusion between the issues between these two. The Undertaker showing respect to Batista. I guess realistically, his deed is done here on Raw now. He got the victories he needed to. He didn't win the World Heavyweight Championship, but he's made peace with Batista. He always said he didn't have a personal issue, and I'm glad to see that handshake. I think we've truly seen the end of the Undertaker's reign of terror here on Monday nights. However, I gotta say, if I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin, I'd sleep with one eye open, because you know he's still looking for revenge against everyone that put him on the shelf, and Stone Cold is definitely next on the list. Well, not too long ago, this match here was originally supposed to be what we were going to see at Bragging Rights.
Approaching the ring, the WWE Women's Champion, Kharma.
Kharma has torn through damn near every single woman on the roster here on Raw. I feel like she almost needs the SmackDown Women's Division at this point, just to have something fresh to face. She's hurt and beaten every single woman that could step in her way, from the former champion Tiny Shiny to the longest reigning champion before Kharma, of course, Michelle McCool. She's beaten newcomer Trish Stratus, and I'm pretty sure she's held victories over both Nikki Bella and Alicia Fox in certain points as well. So honestly, I don't think there's anyone on the Raw Women's Division that can step up right now and actually take the Women's Championship away from Kharma. There's just no threat. She's on top, and she doesn't have a single person who can get in her way and take that championship off of her. The Divas over on SmackDown might be precisely what Kharma needs as a fresh challenge for the Women's Championship. However, this isn't for the championship, and it can't be with Natalya being over on SmackDown.
From Calgary, Alberta, Canada, Natalya.
This is going to be bittersweet for Natalya. I mean, she gets to try and prove herself against Kharma, but what happens if she wins? On one hand, she's beaten one of the most unstoppable champions in all of Raw and SmackDown Women's Champion history, in all of women's history. But on the other hand, if she loses, I mean, if she beats Kharma here tonight, she's gonna be a little bit bitter, I should imagine, when it comes to facing Beth Phoenix. I mean, when it comes to Beth Phoenix's match next Sunday at Bragging Rights. It's kind of bittersweet. It's kind of a tough situation. She's happy for her friend to be facing Kharma, I'm sure, but on the other hand, she can't be too comfortable with the fact that Beth Phoenix stole the spotlight from her right before she had the opportunity of a lifetime to represent SmackDown. Oh, nice reversal by Kharma, jeez. Really twisting that angle.
Big move coming.
Just a second, guys. I'm just gonna quickly have a drink.
Bone-jarring German suplex. Natalya very well could be the most technically sound diva in the entire WWE. A sharp kick. Kharma.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm gonna throw Natalya shoulder fast into that steel ring post.
Look at this! Look at this! A textbook suplex.
In a way, I think it would almost be better for Natalya's mind state right now to lose to Kharma. And that is a weird thing to say. I just don't think you want this victory tonight. I think that beating Kharma is honestly just going to be worse for her. She could have represented, and she could have been one of the only people to say they beat Kharma, and it would have been in a champion versus champion match, which would have meant she was the elite champion between the two. I suppose in a way she could always negotiate a trade down the line and move over to Raw, try to win the Women's Championship. She could be the second at what Beth Phoenix achieved by being the first woman to hold both the Women's and Divas Championships.
Natalya knows a lot of ways to hurt you, and that was one of them.
Natalya is just so strong.
Bragging Rights is coming up your way next Sunday, and we've got some interesting matches coming your way, as pretty much the entire show now has been confirmed, barring one championship match, which is to be determined. But, well, I suppose there's also the matter of Team Raw versus Team SmackDown. We don't know who's going to be representing who in what teams just yet. But we've got, 1 second. Sorry, my phone screened it up and I thought I missed a call. No, just Pokemon Go. Don't know why it does that, but it does. We've got a Team Raw versus Team SmackDown match with 3 participants from each brand to be determined. We've got... Excuse me. We've got... the light heavyweight champion Justin Gabriel going up against hardcore champion, which could be either the Big Show or Eddie Guerrero. We'll find out about that one tomorrow night on ECW. We've got the women's champion Kharma up against the Divas champion Beth Phoenix. We've got the WWE Tag Team Champions, newly crowned Christian and Tyson Kidd, up against Raw's World Tag Team Champions, the United Kingdom's Wade Barrett and William Regal. We got the... There's something I'm missing here, I know it. 6-man tag, tertiary, women's tag, mid-world. I feel like there's another one, but that might be just those 6. But yeah, then we've got the Intercontinental Champion, newly crowned as well, John Morrison, going to go up against Raw's Drew McIntyre. And in the main event, it's going to be a 3-way dance for the Champion of Champions trophy, which will see The Miz from SmackDown, the new WWE Champion, up against Big Show's new ECW's new ECW Champion Big Show, up against Raw's remaining World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus. And you got to think, from longevity alone, from success and background alone, Sheamus is definitely the favorite to come out. And then I would say that because I'm commentating on Raw. Catch me tomorrow night for a completely different opinion, because we have no other commentators, so I have to be biased to every brand that I'm currently commentating for. Several champion versus champion matches. Some, I guess, could be dream matches. I don't know. Depends on your stance. Back and forth between these two. So far, Natalya has not crumbled. And here comes Brie Bella. I'm glad that he said that. I wasn't quite sure which one that was for a second. That's Brie Bella, who is also from SmackDown. I guess she's decided to take up some kind of issue with Natalya. I'm not really sure what or why.
Too slow. Apparently, she just wanted a closer look.
Yeah, that's what I'm starting to think. Brie Bella is just kind of watching on right now. Not really even. She's just shouting at the crowd. She hasn't looked at the ring once. Oh, she looked at it for a split second earlier. Oh, jeez. Imagine just being choked out by Kharma. Sounds like a nightmare. I'm sure someone out there would enjoy it. Up next, though, a very unique match. Edge going one-on-one with Kevin Nash. We're going to find out who's going to be next in line for Sheamus's World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, that championship match will not be taking place at Survivor Series, but rather the very next night after Bragging Rights. So, pretty high pressure there. Oh, okay, Natalya looking in the sharpshooter, and Brie Bella has decided to walk away. Referee was distracted by her though, and it caused the rope break. Not that Kharma looked like she was going to tap out anyway.
Damage has definitely been done.
Not every day you see someone even so much as hit a finisher on Kharma though, so I'll give Natalya a lot of credit for actually managing to lock her in the sharpshooter. It's been a pretty good competitive matchup so far between these two. And Natalya has, as I say, she's been very impressive. She's the one showing the signs of hurt right now, which isn't always a good sign. And they're looking to stand tall, but I'd say that she's been very game. She's really shown that she has the potential to take down the Raw Women's Champion.
Uh-oh. Oh my gosh, what a slam!
Very nice. Is this going to be enough to get the job done, though? Referee ass in full view. Only a 1 count.
Watch it.
Yeah, despite how much offense Natalya has got in on Kharma, it's worth mentioning who's holding their ribs right now. Is this going to be job done? No.
Look at this.
A big scoop and a slam. Oh my goodness, Natalya once again. She's determined. Shoulders down, only a 1 count. Really wants to beat Kharma. Kharma now showing some kind of signs of heart. Jeez, I didn't realize Natalya had this much in her. And I know Natalya is a fighting champion, don't get me wrong. But I don't know, it almost seems like that loss to Beth Phoenix, losing the Divas Championship on Friday, has motivated her more than anything. These two seem almost level. Shoulders on the mat. Is this going to be enough to get the victory over Kharma? No. I think that might be the kind of pinfall that's wise to go for when you're Natalya. We know she's got that submission specialist finisher, the sharpshooter. I don't think she's going to be locking a sharpshooter in on Natalya, I mean on Kharma anytime soon for a victory though. And there's a huge sit-out power bomb. That's got to be it. Well, I mean, I'll give Natalya a lot of credit. She went almost 10 minutes with Kharma. Not a lot of women can say that they've actually managed to pull that off. That was really, really impressive. As we move on to our next match of the night, Edge versus Kevin Nash. Winner is the new #1 contender to Sheamus' World Heavyweight Championship. I can't wait to see who it's going to be. I don't really know what's going on with Edge right now. 1 second he's a singles competitor, the next he's teaming with Jack Swagger. And tonight he's competing in a Contenders match for the World Heavyweight Championship. He wins this, his whole career changes in an instant. Did you like my execution? Did you like my words? Edge and Kevin Nash. A very unusual one-on-one matchup tonight. But as I say, the winner does face off against Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship in 2 weeks' time, just after bragging rights. Could it be the dream recognized? Could Edge finally get that one-on-one match for the World Heavyweight Championship that he's been wanting for such a long time now? Well, I guess that's what we're going to find now, isn't it? Big time presence made by Kevin Nash, one of the more destructive forces here on Raw, someone who I think could really contend with Sheamus. I'm not saying that I don't think Edge has got what it takes either, but it's a different type of competitiveness from Edge and Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is someone I could actually see potentially manhandling Sheamus should he get a World Heavyweight Championship opportunity against him. Very rare that you ever like look at someone and think that. I think in a way, you know, Undertaker could have done the same, Batista could have done the same. Sheamus has gotten very lucky in the situations he's been in. With the triple threat, he was able to play them both off of each other and get the win at Hell in a Cell. Edge comes into this match tonight though. 9-7 record this season, 14-16 overall. On the losing side overall, but doing a lot better this season. Meanwhile, Kevin Nash comes in 5-6. I'm open for either one of these two to face off for the World Heavyweight Championship. 5-6 for Kevin Nash, just looking to even the score as much as he is. Get an opportunity.
And King, what must Edge be feeling tonight?
Kevin Nash wants to hit his patented jackknife. That's a move that practically destroyed an entire generation of superstars.
Straight into the corner.
Oh, down in the corner.
Mini spear. Edge has got the job done already.
Edge has made a career out of
Running back into the opposing corner, and Kevin Nash looking to take control, but a very quick kick to the face keeps Edge top of his game.
Process here. Who's going to get the advantage and maintain control?
And the sound of human flesh on the ground echoes around the arena.
Mick Foley, much like the rest of us, is very fascinated to see who exactly the new WWE Champion The Miz sends over from SmackDown to compete against the World Heavyweight Championship, the World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus, World Heavyweight Championship, just the belt, in the ring on its own.
You're tuned into Monday Night Raw, live and in high definition.
It could be anyone. It could even be you.
Just squeezing down on the head here. Whoa! And he fights his way out. Edge connected. Edge got all that one. Right to the back of the head. Edge's mind so calculating. At times deranged.
That sounded so fake. At times deranged. So calculating. Edge. Never understood when they go into that voice. Yeah, I'm sure I do the same thing. ECW tomorrow night's got some great matches coming your way, including the newly crowned ECW champion himself, the Big Show, set to compete for the first time since winning that title from Vader against SmackDown's own Eddie Guerrero in a hardcore championship match. As of course, Big Show is a holder of both championships, which means that at the moment, at bragging rights, Big Show is set to compete in 2 matches. He's set to represent ECW in both matches ECW is involved in. It's quite the outcome, quite the thing to have happen there. Big sexy.
Cable television's hottest show.
I know Kevin Nash's win-loss record right now may not reflect it, but I think he's got a very bright future ahead of him. I think he's definitely going to be a big guy, a big deal here on Monday nights.
Edge has won nearly 50 championships in his career. That's a tremendous feat when you think about it.
Straight into the corner. Big right hand. And another.
That's not good. Remember, momentum in the WWE can turn on a dime.
Right under the knee of Kevin Nash. Edge ruthless.
Talk about planning your opponent.
Uh-oh, this is bad.
Oh, big German suplex drops Nash flat on his head. Sorry.
I don't think so.
It wouldn't be me if I wasn't randomly yawning in the middle of a recording. It doesn't matter how awake I am, how energized I am. I mean, at the moment, I'm pretty tired. I did only just get up like less than an hour ago, but even if I wasn't, that's just what I do. That's what I do. Edge. Keep having these tie-ups. Yeah, they're working a slow, methodical pace. Who does that benefit?
It gives everybody a chance to catch their breath.
So I don't know.
Not this time. Oh, that might be it.
What a boot! That's got to be it. Go for the pin. Nope. Still to come though, one-on-one. Sheamus, the World Heavyweight Champion, up against a superstar chosen by the WWE Champion, The Miz. Who will he choose to represent SmackDown tonight? If he was smart, he'd go for Stone Cold Steve Austin. But he's The Miz, so he might just go for himself.
Crushing damage directly delivered to the back.
Oh, here comes Edge off the ropes. Big kick to the chest of Kevin Nash.
Ooh, what impact!
Edge.
Oh no!
What should Edge be looking to do now, King? Back to the neck. Edge's neck will be thoroughly tested by the time this match is over.
I gotta say, they've been pretty even so far, and what I'm really surprised by is the lack of Jack Swagger involvement in this match. I would have thought this being a World Heavyweight Championship Contenders match and Swagger being left out of the picture, he would have had something to say, but surprisingly, Jack Swagger has not shown his face in this match, and I gotta say, I'm happy to see it.
Edge nailed it.
I feel like Swagger is only out to screw Edge in the long run. I don't think that this is a tag team that's really got that much life. I mean, maybe it's Edge that's out to screw Swagger, but either way, I don't think that this is a tag team that's actually got a whole lot of chemistry.
Big sexy. The tension, the drama. This is electric.
Whips him back into a nice side walk. Oh, well, I spoke too soon. Here he comes. I don't know whether to be... If you're in Edge's shoes right now, I don't know whether you'd be happy or filled with dread at the sight of Jack Swagger showing up. Does that really favor you? Oh, here he goes. He's going for the silly spear. I think he got it.
WWE fans watching this match all around the world.
No, that wasn't it, I don't think.
And now stalking his prey.
What's Edge gonna do here?
Get DDT'd.
We
Apparently.
saw all in this match, King, and those repeated blows to the skull have definitely taken their toll.
Well, Nash is holding his head. There doesn't appear to be any kind of visible damage, but you know it's that. What's he gonna do in the top rope here? Kevin Nash, that's a hell of a fall for such a big man. Okay. Well, it's definitely working over the weakened spot of Kevin Nash. Uh-oh. Edge looking for the flyy spear. And a flying spear. There you go. Dropped Kevin Nash. Jack Swagger better stay away.
His shoulders are down.
His tag team partner getting a pin of his lifetime, and there you go.
And Edge picks up the win.
Thankfully, Jack Swagger actually seemed to have Edge's back in that one. Edge coming out on top. In 2 weeks' time, he'll face Sheamus for the World Heavyweight Championship on Raw.
He gets a big victory here tonight.
I look forward to seeing that one. That was an incredible match. Well-deserved victory for Edge here tonight. What a win. Well done to Edge, and in 2 weeks' time, he could be your World Heavyweight Champion coming out of the Raw after bragging rights. But up next, Sheamus faces off against a SmackDown superstar. Who's it gonna be? We find out next. I can't believe we're here, still seeing this reign continue, but he survived.
Accompanied by the 2008 King of the Ring, William Regal. Approaching the ring, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Last night, I will say, the odds couldn't have been more stacked against Sheamus. Not only Batista, not only the Undertaker, but both of them at the exact same time in the ring. And it was Sheamus who came out on top, still the World Heavyweight Champion. Whether you love him or not, that was an incredibly impressive victory. But who's going to represent SmackDown tonight up against the World Heavyweight Champion? Well, I mean, I guess it was to be expected from The Miz.
And his opponent, representing the Misfits. From Los Angeles, California, weighing 224 pounds, he is the Intercontinental Champion, John Morrison.
For the first time in that championship's existence, the Intercontinental Championship makes an appearance on Raw. John Morrison going to be stepping up to represent, I guess, his tag team partner, his leader, The Miz. I don't know if maybe the Misfits have been reformed. I mean, obviously, he's always been referred to as representing them, but it's just been John Morrison and The Miz. Obviously, we saw Christian and John Cena helping The Miz to defeat and beat down Stone Cold Steve Austin. So whether Cena has defected to the Misfits, whether Christian has decided to go solo from Tyson Kidd already and join the Misfits, maybe Tyson Kidd's in on it. There's a lot of ifs. There's a lot of what ifs. But one thing's for sure that is very strange to see here on Raw, and that is the Intercontinental Champion John Morrison. Last time John Morrison was here on Raw, he was teaming with R-Truth, and things really were not going his way. And unfortunately, I think Miz might have sacrificed him to the wolves tonight. Sheamus is no laughing matter, don't get me wrong. I know I said that he had the odds stacked against him. He was up against two living legends in Batista and The Undertaker, but Sheamus in his own right, I think, is a future legend in his own right. I got there eventually, I got what I was saying. One thing that's not been mentioned that I think is worth mentioning is that last night at Hell in a Cell, The Miz became the first ever man to be able to declare himself the Triple Crown Champion, as he won the... He's the first man to have won all 3 championships, and he did so within a single year of starting his career. From becoming the inaugural Intercontinental Champion to one half of the inaugural WWE Tag Team Champions. And now, in his first ever reign as WWE Champion, he has held all 3 championships available on the SmackDown brand. That man has been incredibly dominant over there, despite his stature. You know, I won't lie, The Miz is not exactly an imposing threat. But what he lacks in physical strength and size, he more than makes up for in smarts, and he has managed to play his way all the way to the top, overcoming people like Big Show in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live here on Monday Night Raw in this jam-packed arena.
I will say I'm a little surprised to see The Miz not bother to come out here and watch the back of his buddy, the new Intercontinental Champion John Morrison. Perhaps it was all just a ploy to help get The Miz the WWE Championship. Perhaps it wasn't just Stone Cold that was getting played.
Morrison with some nice crisp offense.
You can never tell what the real intentions of The Miz are. He's just not a trustworthy guy in general.
Momentum in the WWE can turn on a dime.
And there he goes.
Sheamus would never be seen dead without at least one of his guys in his corner.
What is it about Sheamus that just makes him so
I've been told that in return for this cross-brand promotional match, pitting a SmackDown superstar against a Raw superstar like this, it will be the same type of main event over on SmackDown, as it's going to be the new WWE Champion, The Miz, up against someone from Raw handpicked by Sheamus. And of course, realistically, it's going to be a United Kingdom member. Hell, it's probably going to be Drew McIntyre. It's going to be a very similar match to this one. Don't worry though, ECW not left out of the mix. Next week, it's going to be the same kind of shtick. We're going to have someone from... we're going to have someone from ECW handpicked to face off against Sheamus. Someone from ECW handpicked to face off against The Miz. And of course, the same goes for ECW tomorrow night. Obviously, representing SmackDown in that Hardcore Championship match, Eddie Guerrero. Next week on ECW, someone from Raw will face Big Show. Possibly in another Hardcore Championship match, who knows.
Let him know what's going on right now in this awesome match.
Plenty of cross-promotional matches. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit the wire. Plenty of cross-promotional matches coming your way. in the coming weeks. Man, I feel bad for John Morrison right now. He may have overcome a big-time triple threat against Booker T and Rey Mysterio. Sheamus is bringing the pain. Oh, here we go, John Morrison trying to get back into get back into the run of things. He's doing so effectively. Sheamus took a little moment to celebrate too soon.
Physically removing his opponent from the ring. John Morrison
He's wasting time.
and loves to look good doing it.
Absolutely wasting time right now is John Morrison.
Morrison springing off the ropes.
Oh, he's looking for Starship Pain, and oh, he got it. Okay. Is he gonna pin the World Heavyweight Champion? That would be a feat. No. But he has definitely got Sheamus reeling now. Look at this. We've seen a complete 180 in control. Okay. Oh no, there you go. John Morrison. Really showing what he's made of all of a sudden. Where'd this come from? Listen to these fans chant, "Let's go Sheamus."
Oh my gosh!
I didn't even press anything, but okay.
Well, that'll send you to the chiropractor.
Uh-oh, I think Sheamus has had enough.
What a move! What a smart move!
Sheamus just going straight back in for it.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
He's in position, ready to strike.
Will this actually connect? This rarely ever does.
Whoa, he's measuring.
And of course.
By Morrison. Uh-oh.
They do not like to take that move. So often they absolutely refuse.
He made it. He made it to the ropes. Oh no! He plants him down with authority.
What the hell was that?
Sheamus had no clue what just hit him. Oof. Sheamus comes up with a what a counter. What a match. Momentum has shifted back and forth.
Intercontinental Champion facing off against World Heavyweight Champion. I never thought we would have seen it, let alone seen John Morrison get this much offense in on Sheamus. I don't think that Sheamus was expecting this tonight when he heard Morrison's music hit, that's for sure. Oh, there it is. That's actually a pretty good sequel. Oh, for fuck's sake, don't get back up, you dumb bastard. We got a little white noise for his trouble.
And this has got to be it. 1, 2, 3.
Fair enough. Don't know why that wasn't at least a signature. I guess he wasn't using white noise much back then. But that's a signature. It still counts as a pretty good finish. Well, I've got to say, that was a very, very game John Morrison tonight. He really wanted to prove something against a world champion, clearly. He came representing SmackDown, he came representing The Miz, he came representing as Intercontinental Champion, and I think he did a great job, but it was Raw that stood tall in Raw's own turf. And that's it for Raw. We thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night on ECW.